Welcome back to the Bryan Air Podcast. This week we've got a lot to unpack, from the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk to the Springboks gearing up for the second test against the All Blacks. On the aviation front, we'll dive into some stories: an Alaska Airlines off-duty pilot in crisis trying to shut down engines mid-flight, new mental health reforms for pilots in the US, Qantas dealing with hackers even while reporting strong profits, and Lufthansa pilots threatening another strike. We'll also look at Boeing's battles, both with unions and the FAA, plus some fascinating aircraft stories from American Airlines flying empty across the Atlantic, to the retirement of Rolls Royce's legendary 747 testbed. We'll wrap up with a lighter note: Swiss introducing a fine dining experience in the sky, and Sun International's results closer to home. So let's jump into it. How you doing, pal?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, a bit of a crappy week, to be honest. That Charlie Kirk thing affected me. I didn't, as I was... I was in shock there, because I think, like a lot of our listeners, I watch that religiously. I mean, you know, his podcasts and that. And, you know, this thing with the social media, like, at what point, when did it happen that we all signed up to watch people being assassinated, like, on your phone? Like, you can be scrolling, and then there's a picture of an oak being shot in the neck in this case. And it's just crazy. It's almost this sort of real desensitization that they've been speaking about a while, but for me it sort of hit home there. You know, on the news, you're trying to get, if you put the news on, you don't see much coming through, but on social media, geez, you know, this whole thing just blew up, and it's just flipping crazy, you know, and it just pisses me off, and it even makes us want to go even more anti-woke, and they've just gone and created another million Charlie Kirk. So if they thought they were eliminating the problem, all they've done is created a whole new segment of the population that is now going to be even more anti their crazy flipping agenda. I've just had enough of all that bullshit, and I just it was really crappy. I want to bring it up at the beginning of the show so we can get it out the way. We have to mention it, and shitty, horrible time in the world. I think we're in for some difficult times ahead.
It's shocking to have to witness that on social media, and the sad thing is, it's just repeated over and over and over again. So you can't get away from it on the threads. I mean, I feel bad for his family and them who are going to get exposed to reels and reels and reels of this non-stop. It's really sad, man. And I 100% agree. All it's going to do is just fuel this
divide.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're wondering why we're talking about it on an aviation podcast, I suppose because aviation in many aspects does turn political, particularly when we talk about things based here in South Africa where nearly everything is political.
Yeah.
But the US so much in the spotlight, and obviously watching, you know, the elections going up and hearing what he had to say, I thought, just here's a young guy who's got so many things to say that you just simply cannot argue with. They are, you know, real, healthy, positive things that he used to speak about, and then they killed him for it. So
it's absolutely bullshit.
Yeah, it's just flipping crazy. So we are...
But it does affect our industry. I mean, if you've seen some of the agendas that they've tried to push, you know, like the uniform stories with some airlines where, you know, you're allowed to wear a dress. And
you know what concerns me? You've got a young son.
Yeah.
Or I've got a young son. And there's this anti sort of masculine push from them is also just crazy, because I suppose what they're hoping, that'll happen is that other people that also, you know, like the Jordan Petersons and the Joe Rogans and the Patrick Bet-Davids, they're scared, so they keep quiet. They don't go out in public, and they don't have these conversations. And that's the real danger, because all he was doing was having these conversations. And that's what scares me, because, you know, who've the young men, who they going to look up to? And hearing what he had to say, he was wonderfully positive things that I would like my son to hear.
Yeah.
And
there's so many of those.
We're going to be pro dudes. We pro. I don't even think there's any. Everyone knows that watches us knows that, and it's not that we anti-woman. Both of us have daughters.
Of course.
Certainly not anti-woman. But is one thing being
I'll tell you what it is,
anti-something, another thing being pro-something, and
it's just anti-bullshit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And why is it even, why do you even have to speak about it? It shouldn't even be a thing that comes up. It should just be the fact that you actually have to, anyway, let's leave it there, because otherwise you and I are going to get riled up. But let's jump into an aviation story. This one caught my attention. This happened in 2023. A Alaska Airlines pilot that was off duty. He decided that he was going to try shut down the engines mid-flight. The pilot pulled the emergency handles but did not fully cut the fuel supply. He has pleaded guilty to interfering with the flight crew and may get 18 to 24 months in prison. The court might release him soon, and he must pay Alaska Airlines for the flight costs.
So he's getting off pretty lightly for that attempt.
I thought so.
Hey, I mean, that's not really a harsh punishment for someone who's trying to, sabotage a flight. That could have ended really badly. Hey, had he got it right?
Jeez.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
And why did he do it?
I seem to remember he fessed up to being goofed on mushrooms, wasn't he?
I can't remember. Something must have been going on.
There was a story there that he we'll have to go back and check in the archives.
It was a while ago.
But I'm pretty sure there was he was juiced on mushrooms.
I suppose it goes into as well, mental health being a topic of discussion with pilots and that at the moment and around the industry. And I suppose it's something that I hope you don't see more and more of this type of stuff. But the way pilots are working these days, I think you will see more and more. You're going to keep pilots flying longer, away from home more. You will see more and more mental health issues. That's just a fact.
No, it is a reality, that's for sure.
If you push to the limits, you fly harder and harder and harder, and you're away from home longer and longer and longer, and that cycle continues, then if you do have a little hint of a mental health issue, I suppose it's going to be triggered easier. I'm no doctor, but that's my take.
Sure.
Qantas made a big profit this past the quarter, but they had a quite a serious cyber attack the other day. But this is what interests me, your Aussie mates here. The hackers accessed personal details of 6 million customers. The airline docked 15% of executives' bonuses because of the breach. The CEO there lost 250,000 Aussie dollars from a bonus. The airline is working to improve security and protect customers. So basically what they did, that's why I threw it out there, is that like a precedent now?
Yeah.
If your company gets hacked, that it's basically the executive's fault and they must take ownership for that.
Sounds pretty Aussie to me, man. Because trust the Aussies to throw a harsh fucking punishment down. You cause a cyber attack, it's your fault. You get a knock in your pay, and you're going to go and work with your boots on the ground, mate. It's a bit more harder than just getting like 18 to 24 months slap on the wrist for trying to shut down engine.
I'm not sure that's the way to go, to be honest, because these cyber attacks, they are coming up, and obviously with AI now, they're coming up with new ideas and new ways to infiltrate systems daily. So you're telling me that
it's probably not the exec's fault, but what are they supposed to do about it? I mean,
but in thinking about it last night, an airline to hack, if you are a hacker, is a pretty good place to start, of all the details that are there.
Passports,
visas, credit card details, everything is there. So if you're going to hack a company, I suppose airlines are front and center now in in this battle against it. It's not easy.
Yeah, what sucks is the airline industry is trying really hard to push through the technological boundaries, like, having e-gate boarding and boarding passes on your phone and all that kind of stuff to make it easier, more seamless.
Yeah.
And that's just exposing them more to all this stuff. So it's an interesting kind of like battle.
Imagine they have to go back to paper boarding passes.
You
think that'll ever happen?
I hope not. I'm very anti-paper.
Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those guys when you check in and you've got your boarding pass on your phone? You know it's there.
Yeah.
Do you also ask for a paper boarding pass as well?
Yeah, I face up. I do. Because look, you need that backup. Maybe the phone goes flat.
And your phone's not going to go flat.
Bro, this phone, our phone, is definitely not going to last.
That's pre-COVID, that one.
And now you're not allowed to take your battery bank with you.
Yeah, true.
So you kind of got to have a bit of redundancy, man. That's why.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. But I also do. Can you print me one, please? Then you look. And then I saw a funny thing this week. Are you also one of those guys that'll then you go through immigration and now you bomb through and check at your gate, Alpha 23, go to the gate, make sure that it's there, and then go and get yourself a beer or something. At least you know where the gate is.
Being pilots as well, I mean, you want to go there, make sure the airplane is parked there as well.
Yeah.
Have a squiz at the condition of the thing. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Looks all right.
Yeah, it's worse when you see it being towed in from somewhere else.
Or if it's not there, then you think,
if it's not there, hey, what's going on here? Yeah. And then everyone's there seated, and then because you're a pilot, you kind of think, hang on, there's going to be a gate changer because you saw the tail of your plane there. Where we are, Lufthansa pilots are threatening to strike over pension disputes. The pilot union says talks have failed after several rounds of negotiations. Pilots dislike the new pension plan because it depends on stock market performance. What's that, like a profit share type thing, I suppose, eh?
Yeah.
They want Lufthansa to increase contributions to protect their retirement pay. Lufthansa's faced strikes before, causing major flight disruptions and costs. No real big news that a European airline is threatening a strike. Obviously, when it's the pilots like this, and I suppose to do with pensions, I would have thought the fact that it's linked to, well, I suppose it's different when you look at the European airlines compared to the way the Middle Eastern carriers make money. They make less money in Europe, eh?
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
They're more of a service, I suppose, than a money-making machine like Emirates. So I suppose in that case, maybe not the best that it's tied to the stock market. But, I'm sure those pilots know more about it than you and me.
Yeah, no, look, I'll give that one a skip. And I just, knowing my luck, if I was in that setup, if my pension was tied to the stock market, it wouldn't end up on top. Yeah,
No.
it'll just dive.
Yeah. And then your mate would start there a month after you left, and you're the first thing you'll read in the news that Lufthansa's stock has gone up 3 million%.
Yeah. And he'll be retiring on a yacht in the Mediterranean while you are shopping with coupons at the Walmart.
or flying an ATR. Boeing is hiring permanent replacement workers as about 3,200 union members strike at its defense factories in Missouri and Illinois. The strike started on the 4th of August over disagreements about pay and benefits. Boeing offers a wage increase of up to 40% over 4 years, but the union wants fairer pay and better job security. Union leaders and workers worry new hires won't have the skills needed and fear safety risks. That is a fear for Boeing.
Yeah.
Both sides have not met since August, and the strike could disrupt important military aircraft production. You reckon the workers at Boeing, they must have, not saying stroking the cat, but they have, I suppose, a lot more rope to play with these days in terms of their negotiation.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They're saying, well, if safety is a factor, you better keep us here. And to keep us here, you're going to need to pay us a bit more.
Especially on the military contracts. I mean, that's where they must make major tin.
Well, how reliant are Boeing on the military contracts? I have no idea how much they are, but I assume that they are pretty heavily reliant these days on military stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like there aren't any wars going on.
Exactly. So I was about to say, it's you can't tell me that they're not being forced to produce at the moment.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Boeing, more in the news with them. The FAA has not decided to lift their 737 MAX production cap of 38 planes per month. The agency is reviewing Boeing's progress and waiting for more data. Boeing hopes to increase production to 42 planes monthly by the end of this year. The production limit was set after a safety incident in 2024. FAA continues to monitor Boeing's cap there. I didn't even realize that they were restricted by the FAA. So that basically the FAA are saying you're only allowed to make a certain amount of these MAXs a month.
Yeah,
because it was a little bit too much of a production line going on there.
Yeah. Stop your rash job.
You haven't changed the design for 300 years, but
slow the fuck down a little bit.
Slow down.
Take care.
Slow down. Slowing down is a good thing. American, this seems bizarre. American Airlines will fly an empty Airbus A321neo across the Atlantic up to 40 times to train pilots. Don't they have a sim? These flights will happen between Philadelphia and Edinburgh from September the 4th to the 26th of, so through September. The training is for transatlantic flights starting in March next year with the 321 XLR. The XLR can fly long distances and will serve smaller markets that don't need big planes. Delays with new seats have postponed the plane's service, so pilot training is now needed.
This might come across as a doof question, but how much training can you possibly do sitting in the cruise for hours and hours and hours in a real airplane?
What's the difference? What's the difference between doing that in a 330 and doing it in a 321 neo?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no difference. I mean, it's an Airbus as well. So first of all, the flight deck is exactly the same, barring a few little changes. The philosophy is exactly the same, and I don't know, it just seems bizarre to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a cuck story, man.
That'll screw up their, what's our favorite topic on the show? Sustainable. They're going to be burning a hell of a lot of unsustainable fuel there.
Where's all the numpties with the orange paint cans now?
Yeah. Huh? Because that seems like a waste. That? Yeah, I suppose they're not doing it in the sim because the sim is flying flat out, so they can't. And they've got the plane and I don't know.
But still, I want to know. I suppose there's a fair amount of topics you can cover while sitting in the cruise there, but it can't be effective training.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, well. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah. The 747 called Hefty B was used by Rolls Royce for 20 years to test new aircraft engines. It had 5 engines to safely test new designs in flight. The aircraft helped improve engines like the Trent 1000 and tested sustainable aviation fuels. The plane made its last flights in July and is now in a museum. Rolls-Royce will use other methods like simulators and ground tests for future engine research. So that's the last that you'll see with these bolt-on engines on that machine. And you've seen it a lot because it's, I suppose, quite synonymous with engine testing, but no more. And this is obviously now into this sort of groundbreaking thing now of using digitization and what do they call it? Digital engines to test their reliability and their wear and tear and all that they don't need to now do in real time.
Fascinating.
Is
Yes.
That whole side of the business is quite remarkable. And I wonder when they go and make new aircraft these days, before the data pack was all based on data that the test pilots go up and test. And I suppose the regulation will take time to change. And I'm not saying that the pilots aren't going to be doing that anymore, but I wonder how much of that these days can be done via simulation. If you've got the designs, obviously, and you know the performance that you should expect. You plug that all into a computer, and it will tell you what the stall speeds are and what the buffet will feel like and how high it can fly and all the rest. I wonder how much of that is sort of simulated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of it's going to go that way. I'm sure.
That data is highly useful. I mean, just FYI, when they go and make simulators and that, the simulator manufacturers have to buy that data at one hell of a price to build the simulator. So that data is not just stuff that goes into the AFM and the maintenance manuals. It gets used for various other things as well.
Yeah.
And if you can, that data is highly valuable. So, that's a side of the business we'll keep an eye on. Did you see that hard landing in San Martin?
Ooh. Yeah, that's
737-800.
Closed the runway for a while, eh?
Yeah. Causing its right gear to collapse. Couldn't tell. The one I saw was a passenger sort of filming on the outside. And you could see, like, the oak was obviously holding his phone, and then he dropped it because of the hard landing. So I assume it was a hard landing.
Yeah.
And caused that gear to collapse. Must have been pretty hard. That was from Toronto with 164 packs. No one was injured. Passengers were evacuated safely using the slides. The airport was closed. Emergency teams did what they were supposed to do. So the airplane stuck there at the airport, obviously, waiting for repair. No doubt the pilots are on a fishing holiday. One of Miles' fishing holiday.
Jeez.
Yeah. Some news a bit closer to home. United Nigeria will add 6 737-800 planes from Southwest to its fleet. This will increase the aircraft from 5 up to 15. The new planes are more fuel efficient, carry more packs. Airline plans to use the planes for domestic and regional flights. They hope this upgrade will help improve and grow the airline and be able to serve more destinations.
That's interesting. It sounds like a good business model from their side, obviously, to take care of the loss in 737 capacity, that airpiece.
Yeah, because they had a runway overrun.
Yeah.
There's more news on that. Won't dive into it now. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
But that story is going to blow up, I think. So we'll have a look there. But it's quite a big thing for United. They got a good bunch of guys there at the moment that are running the show there, and that's a pretty massive jump in seat capacity that they're going to soon be offering.
Yeah.
So good on them. Thought I'd bring this up because it's always nice to chat about going on holiday. Sun International's resorts and hotels earned 4.3% more this year, reaching 1.3 billion. Sun City led their growth with a 7% income increase. That's because we mentioned it on the podcast last November.
Which boosted the algorithm.
That boosted the algorithm. People saw it.
And lots more people are going there now.
And because of that, because of what people saw on the Bryan Air Podcast, Sun International made an extra 1.3 billion rand.
Yes.
So if you're thinking about a sponsorship opportunity, then
this is the platform.
This is the platform.
Yeah. We are the guys. We will, as results show.
100%. And if you go and look, just go back a year and see when we were punting Sun City.
Yeah, that was a year ago.
Punting Sun City a year ago, and look what happened.
It's amazing, man.
As a sponsorship opportunity goes, but I'm telling you now, you can't look past the Bryan Air Podcast. The Maslow Santon also improved. The Wild Coast Sun income fell by 6.9%, but I think they're on the turnaround as well there. So that's in the South Coast.
Yeah.
Did you go past there the other day?
I was down there. I was close. I was in Margate.
Where's the Wild Coast?
The Wild Coast is a little bit more south.
It's more south.
Yeah, you get Margate, Ramsgate, and then a little bit further south, it's the Wild Coast. I actually love that part of the world. It's really, really cool. Wild Coast Sun it's actually very pretty.
Yeah, I last went there. I don't know how old I was, but I remember flying a kite on the beach with my mom and my gran. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
The last time I was down that part of the world was during Africa Bike Week, which you and I don't remember too much about.
Yeah, I remember riding the bikes around, and then there was a stop at Pistol's Saloon.
Yeah. And one of the Oaks dropped their bikes there. It was chaos. Does that event still happen?
No,
it's dead.
I don't think so. I don't think
That was a jewel, man.
that was a big jaw.
That was so much. That was. We went 2 years in a row.
Yeah, man. There was something.
Two was enough.
Yeah.
The third one, I wasn't. I could. Yeah.
I don't think the system will handle a third one
No,
like
it's rough.
that now.
Rough on the body.
There was something quite main about having the Harley with a bone dome helmet cruising on the coast there.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, hello, good times. That's going on now. Jesus, what?
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
That makes you feel old. Swiss is launching a new dining experience in business class on its A350. Meals will be served on tables with more courses, including soup and wider dessert selections. Passengers will enjoy the new bedding, sleep shirts, and better headphones for comfort. First class also gets upgrades like pre-takeoff drinks, afternoon tea, luxury pajamas. The improvements aim to create a premium restaurant-like atmosphere in the sky. I quite like that idea.
Yeah.
So for dinner, the way I see it, or what the picture showed, you'll actually, instead of sort of sitting in your chair there and
you'll go to like a dining room table.
in business class, you're not quite, jiu-jitsu arms, but you can spread out a bit. You'll sort of go to a dining area, as far as I know, and you have a bit of a choice, like a menu that you can choose from.
Fancy. It's probably going to cost 1,020 million euros a ticket.
Yeah. It beats that roll that you used to get on Spuries when we were still flying with the dodgy piece of lettuce that somehow was always wet.
It had a funky like mayonnaise type thing.
It had a funky mayonnaise. Oh. It did have a funky mayonnaise.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is better than that.
Certainly sounds that way.
Who's got the best chow on aeroplanes? Let us know.
Yeah.
What does that guy, your mate, Josh
Cahill.
What does Josh Cahill say? He's not a fan of Link.
I was actually thinking about something he said earlier when you were talking about, was it Lufthansa? I saw one of his latest videos. He was passing through Paris. Orly took an Air France flight to Tunisia or somewhere like that. But he was ripping Paris Orly Airport's a new one, so it's one of the cuckest airports to go through. And he was also having a dig at how the French strike so much. So, yeah.
Have you been through Orly?
Never. No, only Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah, no, me neither. Might stay that way. A shout out to a supporter of the show, Kim McCauley. Kim NL, the shout outs to. Kim is doing unbelievable things on a global stage. We have mentioned her a couple of times. But she's been sort of nominated the Data 100 for the Data 100 Awards, which is a pretty prestigious recognition for senior leaders in enterprise and artificial intelligence. These awards honor individuals who have driven significant advancements in AI and data-driven innovations across many industries, from healthcare to finance and beyond. Kim is a future-focused CIO with 15 years of experience driving data innovation in banking and aviation. She's a proven track record of delivering ROI-driven IT initiatives, from breaking down slots at IATA to unleashing billions of data sets through a unified IT infrastructure. You and I won't pretend to know what that last sentence means, but it sounds legit. So shout out to Kim and Al. Well done, Kim, for doing us Saffers proud on a global stage. Yeah. I'd hazard a guess that definitely from an aviation point of view, I'd say that Kim is probably the top individual that is sort of making waves in this space. and from a South African perspective, 100. But I'm talking about in the world.
Yeah.
She is way up there, and we got a lot to be proud of there. So well done to Kim and Al. That's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah, massive congrats, Kim.
Ryan and I are still trying to figure out how YouTube works, but Kim is killing it on a global stage to do with data and AI. And can you imagine two bigger subjects to be involved in right now?
No, for sure. It's like you were saying. It's actually, it's such a loss for South Africa that someone that is that talented is not being used for
something here.
Yeah.
You and I discussed it earlier, and we took different sides. I said what you basically said, and I'm not going to say what you said. It's like, where the hell is she going to go here?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she's got to, it's got to be on a global stage. But it's just awesome. So cool to see, and so cool to see your name keep popping up in these awards, which show the recognition.
It's awesome. Well done.
Yeah. And how did Kim get there? By working flipping hard and by being bloody clever and delivering results. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want the recognition, that's what you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. No one gave it to her, that's for sure. Well done, Kim. And a few messages this week as well from pilots in particular doing their trade overseas. A shout out to Gustav Fulyun. He actually messaged me earlier. But a lot of messages have popped through with a similar sort of theme, and I'm not sure why that sort of popped up like it has this week. A lot of the theme was, hey, Bryan, thanks for the show. Keep watching, keeping me in tune with, what's happening in South Africa. Really miss home. You don't realize how cool it is to work with, your people from your home country. So, like, a lot of that those messages have been popping up this last week. So shout out to all the guys that are overseas there that kind of miss home, but can't quite be here due to many reasons. Let's say that.
No, we'll keep you grounded on the South African front, and we'll make sure that you stay up to speed with what's happening here on this side of the Boerewolf's curtain.
100%.
And it is September, so it's Heritage Month. We lots to talk about this month from a South African context.
Yeah.
Particularly like being overly dominated in the rugby.
Yeah, I'm not too phased though. I'm not too phased. If you go back in history, okay, New Zealand are always the top team between the World Cups. Look, over the past couple of years, it's improved somewhat with Rassie, but he is trying a new thing. This team this weekend is a nice blend now of some older guys and some far younger.
Yeah,
I'm positive for this weekend, to be honest. I reckon the Boks will take it this weekend. I just have a feeling.
Yeah. Every time. Yeah. Let's see.
Look, let's be honest. To go to New Zealand and expect to win in those flipping, freezing, raining conditions, it's bloody hard. And we hardly ever do it. It happens once every 10 years. So to expect to go to Eden Park and just go and beat them, it's not going to happen.
I think it's just something that we've gotten used to. We've gotten accustomed to being,
but only for the past couple of years, the past few years. It's not definitely not the norm. But fingers crossed. I'm going to miss it because I've got my Jiu-Jitsu grading.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one. So you're gonna.
So I'll watch it later in the day. Yeah, I've got to go and get strangled by some bigger, stronger dudes. Bigger, stronger, younger dudes. So
what
if you don't
happens now?
see me here next week,
it means you've been taken out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I get another stripe or something. But the grading is it's pretty hectic. You gotta perform. It's like a sim check,
Oh, yeah.
So all the moves that you've been learning in class, you've got to make sure that they. Yeah, but what you do, you basically in jits, it's called. It's not called sparring like it is with boxing. It's called rolling. So you got to go roll with everyone. So the white belts, the brown belts, you've got to go roll with them.
Okay.
And you just get smashed for a couple of hours. But you also, the big thing with it is that you can't have your first roll, which is normally about 5 minutes long. You can't have your first roll and just gas out in that roll. because you might beat the guy, you might get him to tap, and then you've got to go and do another roll with someone else, and now you've got no energy left, and this guy's going to smash you. So you have to last, because I don't know how many guys, maybe 20 guys. Now you got to go roll each of them. You kind of have to, how much energy am I going to put into this one?
Yeah.
It's not so straightforward.
So this is
when
when
you're sort of going mid-40s.
A sponsor from Red Bull would come in handy.
I might need something stronger than that.
Well, good luck.
A sponsor from Deca Steroids would be
well, good luck for that.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
go and dominate.
So if there's no podcast next week,
We know why.
yeah, you know why.
Don't worry, I'll fill it in and we'll have a discussion on why Jiu-Jitsu is bad.
Yeah. Why it's bad for your body after a certain age.
That's cool.
No F1. Oh, what happened? I see you've got a McLaren on the desk there.
Yeah.
Your beloved Lando.
He got smashed.
Yeah, he got smashed. I heard Lando's girlfriend broke up with him, apparently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, now they're asking Oscar to break up with his girlfriend as well to make it fair.
That's funny. Oh, shit. No, McLaren stroked the cat last weekend with that strategy.
Yeah, that was work.
That was way work.
Yeah.
I was like, no, man. No, come on, guys. Let's be real
get with the
that.
program, yeah.
Shit.
If you go woke, you go broke. We've talked about it many times on the show.
Yeah, exactly. No, hopefully they sort that out. But look, they're still the top team.
They are.
Piastri, I'm 100% confident going to take the championship this year. So
Yeah.
the orange McLaren will stay for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what old Verstappen does next weekend in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, Max. That's next weekend.
Next weekend. Yeah, no, there's nothing
Yeah,
else
Max made everyone look a little bit silly this past weekend.
Yeah. They give this weekend to Lando to go and see if he can,
Yeah.
fix things up with his guys.
But thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our Patreon supporters. We've got a whole lot of new ones there as well. Really do appreciate you supporting us. If you want to support us on Patreon, just go and click the link there in the show notes. And thanks guys. Enjoy the rugby. See you next week.
100%.
Bye for now.
Ciao.
Bye.